Let's bring our good friend from Baltimore into this conversation. We've got Bernard Hollywood Williams. Bernard, how you doing, good sir?
I'm doing fantabulousism, my brother.
I'm glad you checked in with us because I wanted to talk to you about some new sports. There are some new sports that are popping up, and I want to know, is this a sport that you're going to watch? So there's a company that's called Athletes Unlimited, and they are going to be starting two new professional sports organizations. Both of these are for women's sports. And one of these, I'm really surprised there's not already a professional sports organization for. I'm very happy to see that there is one now. Athletes Unlimited is going to be offering two brand new sports. It's going to have a professional women's volleyball league that's going to start up. And I wonder how much attention indoor professional volleyball is going to get. But I'm more interested in Athletes Unlimited starting a new professional softball league for women. I love this idea because there's really been no place other than the national team, Team USA, for women's collegiate softball players to go after they're done playing. I think that there will be an audience for professional women's softball in the same regard that there is an audience for women's professional soccer, in the same way that there is an audience for the WNBA. I would expect that obviously the women's softball audience is going to be small when you compare it to Major League Baseball. But if Major League Baseball can get behind them and support them and be their big brother, this is a league that could have a chance.
Okay, first of all, first and foremost, I want to say I'm all the support. I will be watching indoor volleyball and softball because those women are hot and it's new. And I support it. I hope I can get box seats and some upfront tickets on the floor because those women are amazing.
I agree. And I think of stars going back like Jenny Finch. Jenny Finch comes out of USC, and she became, for a brief period in time, she was a poster child for women's softball. She was very attractive. She was a dominant player. She led her team as a standout pitcher at USC, and then led Team USA as a stand-up pitcher for the Olympics. But there was nowhere else for her to go. If you had a player the caliber of Jenny Finch at that time, and you gave her a professional softball league to go into, would she have not been the face of that organization? As it stands now, she'll probably be their lead commentator, if not their commissioner.
Either way, there are a lot more younger ones coming up, and it gives them another platform to make some money outside of college and after college. So I'm all for that, 100%.
Now, I got to ask you this. I think this is the right word. Do you know what a barrio is in women's volleyball?
No.
So volleyball has got this weird rule. I'm not 100% sure I've always understood it correctly, but they have a player on their team. I believe it's called the barrio. And it's the best player on your team, but you're only allowed to use them so much percentage of the time. Like, take the best player on your team, like if it was basketball, you can only use LeBron James for so many minutes, and then you have to take him out.
Hey, that's what it is, man. It's a contract, It's all right. Some people have limits. I like to know who else is going in because apparently whoever else is going in, they're getting paid too.
That's true. Oh, they will be now. Collin, you got info on a barrio?
Yeah, so it's a person who plays a special role on the team in defense and passing. The libero is a player on the volleyball team that can come into the game and replace any player on the back row, sometimes called a defensive specialist, or DS for short, may be put in the game to pass for a weaker passer or help cover the court by making great plays, but they can only serve one rotation.
Okay.
Man, that is fantastic. That's like having a Dennis Rodman, or like in baseball, they have somebody to run the bases for you because you're too fat.
It's like bringing a ringer in. It's like bringing a ringer
Not
in.
a
It's like the
ringer.
DH.
No, it's like bringing a sub in. It's like the six-man award. Not a ringer, a legitimate player who is actually doing their part. That's not the star. I think that's great.
I actually heard a conversation as they're talking about doing this NBA playoff tournament down in Orlando. They're wondering about what sort of restrictions you're going to have being able to add and remove players to your roster, say, due to somebody testing positive for coronavirus. And one of the things they were worried about is NBA teams going over to Europe and bringing in a star European player, as in bringing in a ringer. And I'm like, you're going to bring a ringer in from Europe over to play in American basketball? I think we'll be all right.
I mean, well, it depends on what you determine a ringer. I know a ringer back in our day was when the kids were 12, but then you brought this kid over from Cuba who was about 19. Like, there's a disadvantage here.
Yeah, show me the ringer you're going to get to pick on LeBron.
Depends on your definition of the word ringer.
Yeah, show me the ringer you're going to get to pick on LeBron. Collin, before we get out of here, who's our beast of the day?
Us, for learning about volleyball today.
There we go. There we go. We're the beast of the day. Bernard, always appreciate having you with us. We will be back tomorrow. We'll even call it a Wednesday. Come back. The Ticket Morning Show here on the Ticket Sports Network. 100.3, destined for Walton Beach, 97.1 in Pensacola.